Hello, and thank you for your interest in LanguageCert, an approved SELT provider for the UK government. My name is Janet Golding, and today I'm introducing you to our Speaking and Listening SELT exams. In this introduction, I'll be giving you information about LanguageCert itself, providing you with details about the speaking and listening SELT exams, then looking at marking, results and certificates. Finally, moving on to how you can help candidates get ready for their LanguageCert speaking and listening SELT exams. So, to start with, let me tell you about LanguageCert. We are part of the PeopleCert group, a global leader in the certification industry. LanguageCert is an awarding body recognised by the UK government and focusing on language skills assessment and certification. We offer round-the-clock customer service to all our stakeholders, available in fact 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. We benefit from sharing the innovative and flexible exam administration technologies and systems developed by our parent company, PeopleCert. And we work with renowned organisations and institutions globally to offer high-quality language exam suites. LanguageCert and indeed PeopleCert are recognised globally by governments and leading institutions, and we have approved test centres all over the world in more than 200 countries. In fact, millions of exams are delivered by us. As you know, each visa type has its own language requirements set by the UK Home Office. So, your learners need to be sure that they are booking the right LanguageCert SELT exam. Please advise your learners to regularly check the UK government guidance for the very latest information on this. We do have information on our website as well, but it's best to always refer back to the UK government website for updates from the UK Visa and Immigration Team, UKVI. So, why would test takers choose LanguageCert for their SELT exam? Well, we say choose us as the fast, reliable and friendly awarding organisation. Fast because our easy exam booking system offers candidates the chance to book right up to 24 hours before an exam. There are many locations and exam slots available too. Official results arrive quickly, 3 business days after candidates have taken their exam, in fact. Reliable because we offer fair testing of real-life language skills at the specific level the learner needs. So, for speaking and listening, we have available A1, A2, and B1 levels. Accurate results that can be relied on are validated through independent research. Our speaking and listening tests are recorded as well for quality purposes. Moreover, we use award-winning technology to deliver our SELT exams. They are Ofqual regulated and our awarding organisation itself is Ofqual recognised. Finally, friendly, because we offer a schedule tailored to suit a candidate's specific needs. Our customer service team are available anytime for questions. Staff at our test centres are happy to help with exam day questions. And our interlocutors are real, live, and on the day are friendly. They are language professionals happy to help. We offer support materials for teachers and candidates as well, and a dedicated academic support team for teachers' inquiries. By combining the technical and human touch, your test takers, your learners, in fact, experience the best of both worlds. Now, let's look at the speaking and listening test in more detail. As previously mentioned, we offer A1, A2 and B1 speaking and listening SELT exams. The A1 test takes between 8 and 9 minutes, whereas the A2 exam takes between 9 and 11 minutes. The B1 test takes between 11 and 13 minutes. It's a friendly exam arrangement and it's one-to-one, so each candidate is examined individually, not in pairs. The interview is conducted online in the SELT Test Centre with a live LanguageCert interlocutor who conducts and assesses the candidate's performance. The pass mark, as you can see here, is 60%. Because the interlocutor assesses the candidate live on the day, the provisional result is ready within 15 minutes and candidates receive a pass or a fail. Official results arrive in 3 business days. So, what's the format of this speaking and listening test? Well, there are 4 different parts to the exam. At all levels, it's the same. So, in part 1, the candidate gives personal information. In part 2, they communicate in 2 everyday situations. In part 3, the candidate exchanges information and opinion. And in part 4, they listen to a monologue and they answer questions. In addition to this, they then speak about a related topic selected by the interlocutor. Let's look at some examples of these different parts across the 3 different levels that we offer. So you can see here part 1, and we're looking at that particular part used for B1 level. So at B1 level, part 1 takes 1 minute and 30 seconds up to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And the aim is for the candidate to give personal information and express opinions and ideas. So they need to give and spell their family name, they have to say where they are from, and then they need to answer 4 questions on different topics. Let's look at an example now for B1, part 1. So as we mentioned, this part at this level takes between 1.5 minutes and 2.5 minutes. So the interlocutor will ask these questions to all candidates first. Can you spell your family name for me, please? Where are you from? Then the interlocutor moves on to 4 questions from different topic areas provided by LanguageCert, such as these. Times of the year. Which month of the year do you like best? Why? Friends. How often do you go out with friends? Language. How will you use English in the future? Watching films. Who do you usually watch films with? Okay, let's have a look at part 2, this time when we have an A1 candidate. So straight away we can see part 2 at this level takes 1 minute and 30 seconds. As at every level, in part 2, the candidate needs to demonstrate that they can communicate in everyday situations. The interlocutor chooses the 2 situations from a list of options, and the candidate needs to start the conversation or respond as requested by the interlocutor. Here you can see an example of part 2 for A1. So the interlocutor might choose this particular situation to start with, and they might say, "We're in the street. I start. Excuse me, where's the City Hotel, please?" The candidate then responds, and the exchange should be about 2 turns each. Another type of situation is shown here. So the candidate might hear the interlocutor say, "I work in a shop. You want to buy a jacket. You start." So this time the candidate starts, and the exchange between the candidate and the interlocutor should take about 2 turns each again. Here's some information now about part 3. For this sample, we're looking at an A2 candidate taking part 3, and so this task would last for 1 minute and 30 seconds up to 2 minutes. The candidate needs to exchange information with the interlocutor to complete a simple task. At this level, this is done by the candidate and interlocutor talking about similarities and differences in pictures. And the pictures are of familiar everyday situations. The interlocutor has one picture, the candidate has another, a different one in fact. The candidate does not see the interlocutor's picture, so it's a more genuine exchange between them. By the way, at B1, the interlocutor and candidate have the same information in their pictures, and they need to try to plan, arrange, or decide on something. So if we have a look now at an example at A2, you can see here the picture on the left is the interlocutor's one, and the picture on the right is the candidate's. Remember, the candidate doesn't see the interlocutor's picture. They might begin by the candidate hearing this from the interlocutor. Now, part 3. Here's a picture of a market stall. I have a different picture of a market stall. Let's ask and answer questions about the 2 pictures. I start. I've got a man talking on his mobile phone. What about you? Then a short conversation continues. Finally, we have part 4. Now, part 4 has 2 sections, 4A and 4B. In 4A, at all levels, candidates need to understand the interlocutor talking about something and then answer some questions. At B1, which is the example we have here, it takes 3 minutes. Have a look at this example. Remember, the candidate listens to the interlocutor twice, in fact. They see the questions first and they can take some notes. These are not assessed. So you have here a sample text that the interlocutor might read. And then you see here we have some sample questions that the candidate needs to answer. Okay, moving on to part 4B at all levels, candidates need to talk about something on their own, something selected by the interlocutor. At B1 level, which is the sample here, and remember it's 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes, the aim is for the candidate to narrate, describe or communicate their ideas and opinions in this short, uninterrupted talk. They have 30 seconds of preparation time, during which they can make brief notes. These notes are not part of the assessment, but could help them prepare what they're going to talk about. At B1 level, as we said already, they need to use this talk to narrate, describe, or communicate ideas and opinions. And in fact, at this level, they have to be able to do this for 1.5 minutes. And as we've mentioned, topics are provided by the interlocutor, and the same for 4B. The interlocutor will provide the topic for the candidate. The candidate answers follow-up questions afterwards. So if we have a look at this sample from B1, the interlocutor might say, "You're going to talk on your own for 1.5 minutes. Your topic is a trip you'd like to take. You now have 30 seconds to write some notes to help you. You're going to talk about a trip you'd like to take." Then the interlocutor will give the candidate their 30 seconds and then ask them to start. After the long turn by the candidate, the interlocutor will ask some follow-up questions, perhaps like these ones you see here. Okay, let's move on now to marking and results. The interlocutor assesses the candidate throughout the test, and they give marks for these criteria. So as you can see, we have listening and responding, interactive communication and task fulfillment, accuracy and range of grammar, accuracy and range of vocabulary, pronunciation, intonation, and fluency. And if you would like more details on this side of things, please do look at the qualification handbook. As we've discussed already, provisional results are emailed to the candidate within 15 minutes of the test, and then 3 business days later they receive the official result, and you can see a sample here of a test report. You'll notice that the candidate is allocated a candidate unique reference number, and if they have passed this test, so that's if they have achieved 60 out of 100 or more, they will then use this number when they submit their visa application. Okay, moving on now to how you can help your learners get ready for their CELT exam. We offer lots of support for teachers and for candidates. The most important document is the Speaking and Listening Qualification Handbook, where you'll find detailed information on format, assessment, what we're looking for in a performance, grammar, functions, topic lists, and so on. We do have sets of practice papers as well, which teachers and candidates can use for mocks. We also have videos, exam day tips, and regular webinars, live and recorded. We are delighted to say we offer teachers a dedicated academic support team as well for queries and concerns. Any of these items of material can be found on our website, and I'll tell you more about contact details shortly. In any case, LanguageCert offers help anytime from our friendly customer service team. So, here are a few helpful suggestions for supporting your learners. The most important thing, we believe, is to offer your learners support and guidance on the exams, whether you're running exam prep classes or their usual general English course, or indeed if your learners have just finished their course but have come back to ask for your advice. Our website is the best place to signpost them to for all the information on the exams and details on how to book them. Then, obviously, of course, for actually booking the tests as well. You may actually want to help them register to book their test, especially those learners with a lower level of English who might not be so confident with IT or with exams in general. You may also want to offer them tips for exam day, supplemented with your own advice to help them feel more confident and ready for their test. You may want to offer additional language support for your learners, perhaps focused on the level requirements, or maybe exam techniques and etiquette, and/or mocks to supplement your usual classes that they attend. Our online resources will help guide and reassure candidates on their journey, supporting them before, during, and after exam day, whether it's an academic, admin, or other matter. Okay, you can see here some advice for your learners. Please do encourage them to be comfortable with these 5 simple steps for taking the test. They've been written directly for their benefit. So you'll see the first one is all about booking the exam. And as we've mentioned, these exams are booked online and they're booked from our online portal. And candidates can choose which exam, where they want to do it, and when. There are lots of options. Secondly, they will need to be ready to receive the exam information email after they've booked, because it will help them understand what it all means in preparation for the big day and what they need to bring on the day. And that moves us on to step 3 about exam day itself. We advise candidates to arrive 30 minutes before their test begins. There are security procedures to go through, and they'll need to put their belongings away in a locker and so on. You can find out more about this side of things on the website in our FAQ section. However, just so you reiterate to them, it's very important they bring the same ID that they had booked the exam with to start with. For the 4th step, when they take the exam, reassure them that the exam is a short conversation with a real, friendly LanguageCert professional interlocutor. And of course, they can ask questions, they can ask repetition, clarification throughout the test. In addition, they can also ask test centre staff if they have questions too, because they are also friendly and welcoming. And finally, on the subject of results, your learners will be pleased to know they received their provisional result in 15 minutes. And remember too, we've mentioned already that official results will arrive in 3 business days. They need to wait for the test report in order to obtain the URN we spoke about for their visa application. Of course, dependent on the fact that they have passed the test. Okay, if you or your learners have any questions after listening to this introduction, please do visit us on our website. You can also email us at this address. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope it was helpful. Goodbye for now.